Hey everybody, this is Richard with Lost Creek Catfish. We want to talk with you tonight. We just got a short video we're going to share with you, and we're going to be talking about dragon weights. And dragon weights is something that you use when you're drifting or when you're dragging or even whenever you're anchored up and during catfishing. So tonight we're just going to do a little short video on how I make my own dragon weights. And so what I use is a 4-ounce piece of lead. I use this piece of lead right here, just a 4-ounce piece of lead. And I use this tube. Now, I got this tube at the local Home Depot. And so what I do, I take about 16 inches of this tube. So that's how long my dragon weight's gonna be. And I just cut it at 16 inches. Now, I've already marked this tube, so so it won't take so long to make the video. So, but we've got the tube here cut. It's 16 inches long. Now you notice it bends. Well, we're going to take the bend out of this, and we'll show you how to take the bend out of this. But the way that I make my dragon weights is I take my heat gun and I heat this tube up. Now, when I heat this tube up, I'm going to take this 4-ounce piece of lead and I'm going to push it into this tube. And by heating this tube up, it becomes flexible and you can get it all the way up in there. And at that point, you know, you've just about got your dragon weight made. So we're just making these dragon weights with things we have here, and they've worked fine for me. This is our second year on YouTube, and so hey, I invite you to like our channel, subscribe to it, Lost Creek Catfish. You'll be glad you did. We're fishing on the Warrior River here in Alabama. We're fishing down on Mulberry Fork. We're going down this week. I hope we're going down to Lock 17 and going to do some skipjack fishing, try to get some bait. And so we're just going to have a good time this season. So stay with us. Tell your friends about us. Like and share our program. You'll be glad you did. So, all right, so let's get to making these dragon weights. Excuse me, I just ate supper. So here, you know, y'all just have to bear with me on that. So I've got my heat gun. You want to go ahead and heat the end of your tube. So you want to heat about 3 inches up the end there of the tube. So we're going to go ahead and do that. All right. So now that we got it heated, we're just going to take this 4-ounce piece of lead and we're going to push it up in that tube. You can see how easy it goes up in that tube. But now this stuff gets hot. So what I do is I use my welding gloves, and I've got my welding gloves right here. I'm going to put on just to keep this thing from burning my hands, because these things do get hot. And folks, this is my second year on YouTube, Lost Creek Catfish, and so we're learning as we go. And so, you know, you got any tips, you got anything you want to help us with, just let us know, because we'd love to hear from you. And maybe you got a tip that would help me out on the river. I'd love to have that. So let's heat this thing up again and get this thing on here. Now we just push it on there with our hands. And the more you heat it up, the easier it is to slide on there. I like mine. I've seen some people do this and just barely put the lead over the tube, but I like for mine to go all the way over the lead, so I know that lead's not going to come out when I'm fishing. So you can see how my lead is now completely in the tube. So that's going to keep it from coming out. And so what I do, I just go ahead and heat this end up, and it shrinks that end and makes it really impossible for that lead to come out right there. All right, so that's the first part of it. So the second part is putting the hook that connects to your line on this right here. So this is what I've done in kind of constructing my own hook. I take one of these right here, which is just a electrical fitting, and let me find one that'll come off pretty easy. And we take the blue or the cover off of it. Let me lay this down. That's hot. So we take the cover off of it, and this is what we've got right here. Just like that right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some glue and put down in this, and we'll place this down in that tube, and when that glue dries, it's going to hold it. So we're going to do that now. Okay, I've got my glue gun heating up, and while it's heating up, I want to thank the guys for sending me this mug right here from Bait Busters. This is where I got my casting net, and so I appreciate them sending me this cup, and I take it out on the river with me. It keeps your coffee hot and your tea cold. So, and I want to tell you, this is October, and down here in Alabama, it's already getting cold. I know some of y'all guys up north that fish up in Kentucky and on the Ohio River up in there, y'all probably already cold. But it's just now, the weather's changing down here, and it's just now beginning to have these cool nights, and of course the days are still hot, but you know, I'm easily to get cold. So this winter, whenever you watch the channel, you're gonna see me wrapped up in everything I can get on, because I stay cold. I get cold real easy. We had a small boat last year. We had the 16-foot aluminum boat with a 35 Mercury on it last year that we put a rod rack on the back, and we fished out of that rod rack. I think we had 5 rod holders on that rod rack. But this year I went to a pontoon boat. Gives me more room to move around. You know, we're gonna do a walkthrough probably sometime next week with you and show you the setup that I've got. But I just really enjoy it. It's just so much easier to fish out of, and so you know, I'll give you a walkthrough on that sometime during the next couple of videos. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this tubing right here, and so we've got the heat gun or the glue gun. It's ready. So I'm going to pinch this right here so it'll hold that glue, and I'm just going to let that glue go down into this tubing. So I like to get it at least about 1.5 inches to 2 inches into that tubing. And I want to make sure that there's no air in this, no air bubbles in this glue that I'm putting in here. So, because you want it to hold real good. Okay, so we take that off. All right, so we've got that. And now we're going to take this little electric clip right here, and we're going to put it down in this glue. I'm going to shove it down in there just to where we have access to the hook right here. Okay. Ooh, that's hot, and that'll burn your fingers if you ain't careful. Okay, so now that our glue is dried up here, what we want to do is, this thing's got a curve in it. Now, some people like to have that curve, you know, because it floats on the bottom and this kind of comes up. But I kind of like mine a little bit more straighter, vertical-like. So I'm going to take this curve out of this tubing. Is I'm going to take my heat gun, I'm going to hold this up, and I'm going to heat this tubing, and the weight of this is going to pull that straight. So what that's done, that has straightened my dragging, it has straightened it out. And so now what I do is I just attach this to my line, and so it'll be ready to go. And so you know, these are easy to make, they're cheap, and you know, if you lose one, you know, you ain't lost that much. You know, because I know sometimes buying these dragon weights are pretty expensive, and you know, the way I fish, you know, I'm liable to lose 2 or 3. And so I've just learned to try to you know, improvise and make my own, and these work great, man. I mean, you can't, you know, you can put any weight on this you want to. You can put a 3 ounce, 4 ounce, whatever ounce weight you want on that, and it works great. So that's the way I make my dragon weights. And I'm going to show you one that I've got on the rod and reel already. I'm going to lay this down just a moment. One of my rods, and this is one that I made, and I think this is one of the first ones I've made here, and it's done great. It works great. You just hook it to your hook here, and you're ready to go. You got your leader line, and man, you just get out there. And I've never had a problem with these. I've never got hung up on, you know, with them at all, except for just once or twice whenever I done something, you know, kind of crazy, and you know, got them wrapped around something. So these work great. They're easy to make. They're cheap, and they'll get you out there and get you fishing. You know, I hope you like it. Please like and subscribe to our channel, Lost Creek Catfish. I'm Richard. They call me Hook Hanley. The name of my pontoon boat now is the Whisker Seeker 1. So come on and go fishing with us. We've got a lot planned. We're hoping we can get on some big fish this year, and hoping we can, you know, do a lot down on the rivers of Alabama. So hey, like and subscribe to our channel, and let us know what you think. So until next time, this is Richard, and we'll see you on the next catch.